he works, he's a mechanic, or build up a man. So if you've seen a man, right, and he's like all your type, fits everything, he just doesn't make great money, doesn't have certain things, but you know he's ambitious, you know he's a good man, would you build him up? So that means you take care of him in all aspects, help him with certain things, and build him up. Women don't do that, you know that? Back then, a lot of women did. Women want the finish line.
What
yes
is
or no?
building up a man?
So like, okay, you can either choose a man who's six-figure earner or a man who's just an average man, like say he works, he's a mechanic or Subway or something, but all the qualities you ever wanted besides the job portion, that's building up a man. So if he says, babe, I'm into, being a barber, would you go and buy his clippers, go and buy his stuff, buy the first studio, build up a man just like a man would build you up?
Where is this man building the woman up? Where should they be built?
Men build women up all the time. Men will give us money, men will do our nails, do all these things for you. You ask a man, a good man, hey babe, help me with my business, he's gonna do that. You tell a man, oh babe, do this for me. Men most of the time will pay for everything. I would build up a man because I have been built up by a man.
Shout out to the sister who put this particular clip out. She's been getting a lot of airtime and play and all that. So I thought it would be good for me to chime in on this situation that is going on here. In particular, the NFL draft and this idea of building men up. Dr. Umar Johnson has come out and said that the reason that many men who are becoming NFL players, et cetera, are experiencing the love and being lavished on and being followed after and having quote-unquote snow bunnies on their arms when they're at the NFL draft and NBA draft and all this type of stuff, is because there is an inherent difference in the way that they are going about the mating and dating game. They're playing the long game. They're playing the long haul. They're playing the they're playing the long game, right? They're playing chess, not checkers. And so this is something that we've got to learn as a community, and I think that the ladies really need to learn. So the sister that I put on here, I guess she's a therapist, which I didn't know. I thought she was just a social media influencer. So shout out to her for being a therapist and all that. So she puts out this particular video that you just watched about, being built up, and what does it mean to be built up, and do men need building up, and all this type of lingo and language and stuff. So let me try to dissect what all this means. This is an acknowledgement of the need for loyalty. This is all what I see as a test for loyalty. You go back years ago, and the reason that so many ladies did not want to build men up, or stopped building men up, I should say, is because they felt that there was no loyalty. Think back to the song of that Kanye West put out a while ago, Gold Digger, in which he said, whatever, then you get on, and he leaves your ass for a white girl. Sorry, I got a little bit of a phone call there. So let me try to get back to what I was saying here. It's a question of loyalty. They get on, then they want to leave you for a white girl. So I think that this has been a conscious decision by the ladies who said, I'm not going to build any man up. I'm not going to put my time, energy, and effort into somebody who could potentially leave me or whatever. And if you think about the alimony problem, I think it's a problem anyway, that, you can, put time, energy, effort into a spouse, and then next thing you know, they decide to wake up one day and decide to leave you high and dry without the ability to have a living and all that kind of stuff. So that's what it is. So I think that I understand that point of ladies of saying, we're not going to build anyone up. We're not going to build anyone up. We're going to wait at the finish line, and we're going to do X, Y, and Z. Now, that's a calculated risk that they are taking because of the past sins of our fathers, forefathers, uncles, etc., who did not do them right. And so this is it came down to a question of calculated risk and loyalty. Say what you want, but in order to fix that problem of the problem of NFL drafts going forward, the problem of whatever, because it's not a matter of beauty. It's not a matter of beauty. They're not selecting these women or having them on their arms because they're more beautiful. But they are having them on their arms for NFL and etc. is because of their attitude, number one, and because of their loyalty and decisiveness in playing chess and playing the long game. And that's what has to be solved. So until and unless the men out there are willing to solve the problem of building people up, then this is going to continue until the men have the loyalty factor to them to say, I'm going to stick by these people to the same level. Then you're going to have to continue to have the same problem. Now, I had this conversation with my daughter, who was saying the same thing, that she's not going to build anyone up. I know they probably hate talking because I just end up going off and talking about it. So, but I do this because I think that it's a phenomenon that's going on, and I can understand. I understand what the ladies are saying when they're coming from this perspective that they don't want to do it anymore. I understand. So I gotta understand. I wouldn't want to be left high and dry like I saw my mother and stepmother and aunties and all that. I wouldn't want to be left like that either. So I'm gonna play a different type of game so I'm gonna play to win. Okay. So I'm having a conversation with my daughter about this, and I said I don't think there's anything wrong with building a guy up, holding him down when he's in college. If he wants to use the therapist analogy there, that you were going to buy up clippers or pay for him to take a licensing exam, or helping him to maybe trying to get his CDL, or trying to open up a business. You want to invest a few $1,000s. I don't think there's anything wrong with that from a lady doing that. I really don't believe that. Conversely, what has to happen on the men's side is there has to be loyalty. There has to be loyalty. And this is all about loyalty and saying and being grateful and not leaving when you get the bag, when you get that position, when you get that promotion, when you open up that business. So I think that's the difference. I don't think that men generally have a problem building up their women. Although I've talked about this on my other channel about sometimes your family will not show up for you. But generally, I think that men, and here's the question that I think that really men have to solve as we move into this era. I watched the video the other day talking about. I guess there's people are paying $18,000 to be put through military-style boot camp training in order to toughen them up because they don't feel as if their masculinity, they don't feel secure in their masculinity or something along those lines. So the question has to be raised, about the masculinity that men are dealing with in this day and time, and are they tough enough? And yeah, I think that there can be an emasculation type of feeling when and if a woman is building you up. I think that can be a thing, an issue. So to the men out there, I would say do what you can to build yourself up, to learn to stand on your own 2 feet, not on mommies and daddies, girlfriends or wives, right? To be in a position before you really start to date, to be in a position where you say to yourself, hey, you know what? I'm going to get myself together financially, academically, and emotionally, psychologically, in order so I can be the best mate and spouse for someone else. So those are all different issues that I think are going on when it comes to the question of building someone up. And so those are my thoughts, my opinions, right? So to the men out there, if you're to the men out there, number one, I would say get yourself together, emotionally, mentally, academically, build your business, etc., before you attempt to bring life into the world or to interfere in somebody else's life to the best of your ability. I mean, you gotta exercise some form of discipline when you're doing this. And the second measure that I would say to the men is, if your woman is deciding to help you, and if you are deciding to take the help, then you should be faithful and loyal to that person. Another saying that goes on out there: if you're not with me on the first floor, you don't get to be with me when I go to the penthouse. And now there's traffic. So I think that those are words to live by. I think that those are things to consider when and if you're going to do that. And certainly you should be faithful and to be loyal to those particular types of people, to the woman who's going to do that. And to the woman out there, I understand the calculated risk if you're going to do it or not. It's really up to you. You got to weigh the cost, benefits, and realize and recognize that you would recognize their potential and recognize whether or not that person is a good person. Well, Cap, how would you know if that person's a good person? I would say take a look at their family. I would say take a look at their family dynamics. I know that their divorce is so high right now, but do they come from a family who has a stick-to-itness type of mentality and behavior? Do they come from a family that believes in marriage, mother and father together, uncles and aunts together? What type of family did this person come from? So I would say take a look at those types of at their family dynamics before you decide how much time, energy, and effort that you're going to invest in the future of that relationship. And certainly, you're going to invest in someone who has potential. Because you've had conversations with them, you see their intellect, you see their drive, you see their passion, and you see their purpose. Those are the types of people that you're going to invest in, right? Think about it as a college application, right? When you go for a school, for a college application type of thing, and when you're going for a school, college application, et cetera, you are looking at their, or the school, I should say, is looking at your potential. That's why you got to do, exams and GRE exams, and you got to have letters of recommendations, and you got to write a writing sample before you get accepted to these schools. So that's the way that, if you're going to invest, if you're a woman and you're going to invest in a man, you should do your due diligence in vetting that person, making sure, what have they done with their life thus far, what is their family situation, and what type of intellect and intelligence does this person exhibit on a day-to-day basis. Can I trust this person to pay me back and invest, and is it worth investing in them? So that's my thoughts, that's my opinions about this whole Build-A-Bear, Build-A-Boo situation, Build-A-Man situation, as well as the NFL draft. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions about this, and are we making too much of the NFL draft? Is it even a problem? But I think that if ladies, particularly those of melanated complexions, really want to be competitive in the dating market and get the men on the rise up, you're really going to have to change your strategy. Till next time, much love and peace. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions. Let's get the conversation going. And if you haven't, checked out my other podcast pages. I talk about, just overall esteem, self-confidence issues, and where I talk about more, I've been getting into more police-related issues. Much love and peace, everyone.